Top story at 10 o'clock. Are you ready to vote? The 2020 Idaho presidential primary election is tomorrow, and you can expect some big changes this year for Democrats. Instead of a caucus, which Democrats held in 2016, the election will be a state-run primary for both parties, where Idahoans vote by private ballot. 6 on Your Side's Madeline White joins us live in studio with everything you need to know.
Everything you need to know. Polls open at 8 a.m. local time tomorrow, where primary voters will choose who will face off against likely Republican nominee President Trump. Here is everything you need to know. A Democratic candidate will need almost 2,000 delegates to secure the nomination on the first ballot at the Democratic National Convention. The state of Idaho has 25 delegates. The Republican side will likely go to President Trump, who faces no major challengers. And this year, Idaho Democrats are going back to a primary election as opposed to a caucus. This means the lines should be shorter, with less wait time for results. With a more efficient voting process in mind, new technology is being introduced this election in both Ada County.
We're going through and making sure that a vote for Donald Trump goes to Donald Trump, a vote for Joe Biden goes to Joe Biden, and a vote for Bernie Sanders goes to Bernie Sanders. So we've been running ballots, going through all the machines.
And in Canyon County.
We can have multiple ballots at a precinct. In fact, as many as 17 different ballots. That can get really confusing. So with this new system, in theory, a voter cannot get the wrong ballot.
So who can we expect to win delegates on the Democrat side? Well, let's start with what Idaho voters are looking for. Recent data from Boise State shows that overall, voters care most about education, economy, healthcare, and growth. So it's safe to say they'll be voting based on their interest in those categories. In 2016, Idaho voters went with Bernie Sanders instead of Hillary Clinton by a wide margin, with 78% of the vote. Sanders also brought out new, previously unregistered voters in 2016. So it should be interesting to see if those voters turn out again for Sanders. To vote in the Republican primary, you must be registered Republican, something you can do at the polls tomorrow if you're currently unaffiliated. The Democratic primary is more open. Unaffiliated voters can participate without registering as Democrats. However, registered Republicans cannot. If you're already registered as a Democrat or Republican, it's too late to change your affiliation for tomorrow's election.
So Madeline, Biden is the only of the two major Democratic candidates who has been to Idaho on his campaign trail. He came here in August for a fundraiser.
Yeah, last summer for a private fundraiser, that's true. But like I said, it's really going to come down to policies that Idahoans care about, such as growth management. Last year, Idaho was the fastest growing state in the country, with about 37,000 people moving here. And data shows we have about 140,000 more registered voters this year than we did 7 years ago.
So what has that meant for Idaho's political landscape?
Yeah, good question. Judging by numbers in the gubernatorial races, at least, the percentages of people voting Republican haven't really changed. Numbers show it is mostly Republican voters moving here from states like California, Oregon, and Washington. But follow along with me tomorrow for our primary election coverage. We likely won't have any numbers until at least after 9 o'clock, but you can also follow along on 6onyourside.com.
All right, thanks, Madeline.
Thank you.